Welcome to Fox 8 Extra. I'm Stefani Schaefer. Today's guest, you're going to say right away, oh, I know her. Very, very familiar and adorable face. She is a well-known journalist here in Cleveland. She is also a mom. She is a wife. She's also a daughter to one of Northeast Ohio's most beloved coaches, inducted into the National High School Hall of Fame. And we're talking about my friend and new colleague, Maureen Kyle. It's so great to have you finally a part of our family.
I know,
here at Fox 8.
it is so great to be part of the family. Everybody has been so kind and welcoming as I've come in. And I mean, we've known each other for a long time. I won't say how long, but many years.
Well, we have this common thread of a lot of things. First of all, Virgil Dominic, who we both love and adore so very much. Virgil is just the best. And so he's the one who was always saying to me, I can't wait for you to meet Maureen. And then we've met over the years. And then my son going to St. Ignatius, your dad, of course, being the king of St. Ignatius with leading the football team for so many years. And then I remember texting you, because when the parents go through the days that you, like you go through your classes of your sons, they do that at St. Ignatius like before school starts. And here I am going, I have to run to this hall, and because my teacher is Coach Kyle. So then I text her, I'm like, I'm sitting in your dad's class right now. And so your father was my son's English teacher, and we'd always talk about that. Well, what a great man, what a great legacy he's left. And for you to be raised in this whole thing is just cool right here in Cleveland.
And it's funny because I remember being in the studio probably when I was in college, because he would know that I'd want to go into broadcasting. So if he appeared on Fox 8, he'd bring me along. And yeah, so I mean, he was very encouraging of me going into this career. So I've actually been in the studio, but I was like a teenager.
Wow.
And and then he texted me that night, or he called me the night that you met for parent-teacher conferences. But Cleveland, I mean, it's all one big, small community. We all know each other. And it's just great to be here with you guys and get to continue on covering the type of topics that I love to cover.
Well, it's a perfect fit. You will see Channel 8 is special. It's such a special place, and it really, truly is more like family than anything. And we all have to navigate these sad stories and tough things, the headlines that are on the news, but when we're all family and we all get along so well, that really helps. And it helps through all those times. So I have been rooting for you over the years and just secretly wishing that one day you come here. So I'm so thrilled to have you
I was
here.
even just telling, I think my husband, because you called me, as soon as the email came out in the newsroom that I was joining your team, I said, Stephanie used to, and I don't know if you remember this, before we even met, you would cut out, if I was in a newspaper or a magazine, you cut it out and mailed it, like snail mailed it to me.
I do remember doing that. Yes,
and I was
so
like,
funny.
this is the nicest thing that anybody's ever done. It was just so kind.
But yeah, I get the email that you were coming. So I was getting ready to text you. I'm like, I can't text you. I need to call you. So then, we talked forever and got to catch up on the kids. So, and get us up to speed on how the girls are doing. You have 3 darling daughters.
Oh, they're great. I mean, they're growing so fast. I have a 12-year-old, a 10-year-old. They all just had birthdays, so let me think here for a second. So 12, 10, and 7. In a million sports. You know, we're getting the weekly report cards. So, you know, we had some tough conversations about what is this C? We got to bring this grade up. You know, so we're in the middle of it. We're in the middle of some really key years, and it's amazing that they're as old as they are. Like, I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, they were just babies. I know. When I run into people and I have my baby who just turned 7 and they're like, wait, this is the baby I remember when you were pregnant. You know, it's flying by, but everybody's happy, everybody's healthy. We're thriving. It's great.
God. Thank God. So tell everyone what you'll be doing here at Fox 8.
So I've been super passionate about covering parenting topics for the past few years, because when they do hand you a baby in the hospital, like, congratulations, here's your baby.
And then you're like, where's the manual?
Where's the manual? So actually,
how do I turn this thing on?
Yes, that's
and is there an off button ever?
Who's going to tell me what to do? So the show that we're starting here is called Parenting Playbook. Yay. Because you don't get a manual, but you can create a playbook, right?
I love it.
I've had the chance to meet incredible experts. We have such amazing experts in the Northeast Ohio area with the incredible hospital systems that we have here. So the world-renowned experts are in our backyard. So with Parenting Playbook, we're going to tackle a topic, whether it's teens, whether it's toddlers. We all know they have their own little issues.
Yeah.
Little kids, little problems, big kids, big problems. And we get to sit an expert down and really delve deep into some of that advice. What I discovered in covering parenting topics over the years was, in news, we boil it down to a minute and a half. It would take way more than a minute and a half to get all of that advice. So here we're gonna have the entire interview, 24, 25 minutes worth of them talking about, everything from development to cell phone use, which is just, social media, we cannot talk about enough. Toddler meltdowns. My dad and I do a show, Parenting Through Sports. We'll probably do a little bit of that because that's so emotional and it's a key part of their development. But every day there could be a topic. We're gonna do this once a week, but every day something comes up, whether it's light, whether it's more serious. I think every parent just wants to know, is my kid safe? Is my kid okay? And so however that falls underneath the umbrella, we're gonna try and answer that question.
And it's true, when they say it takes a village, and there's so many parents out there that your kids may be going through something, and then you have to wonder, is this a phase? Is this normal? Do I need extra help? Do I need extra resources? And that's what you're able to do.
Right.
To have these experts, as you mentioned, we are so fortunate to have these great people here and to really dive into some of these great topics.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's so good. I'm so happy. I mean, this is so well needed, and really this Fox 8 CLE Plus app gives us that platform to be able to do things and sit and talk instead of having you on for 30 seconds and say, all right, great, can't wait to see you. Tell us what's going on in 25 seconds.
Right.
Now you can really dive into that.
Which is how I think people want content and information.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a place for news and newscasts and getting the headlines and figuring out what's happening within your community. But then what I've really appreciated with podcasts and streaming shows is you do get this longer form.
Yeah.
Because you can't summarize everything in
Right.
30 seconds. And I also feel like this type of show is the way you would sit down and talk with your friends. Even as I was driving here, a friend of mine calls me, her teens all went to homecoming over the weekend.
Uh-oh.
And so she's telling me that her kids will ask advice like, what should I do? How do I talk to this love interest or something? And she goes, I don't know what to tell them other than just be honest. And I don't know what to tell them. And so many times it's the questions that we have is, what do I say in this situation? How do I guide my kid in this situation? What's the right thing to say that's going to help them discover what they need to do? And because you don't want to meddle too much, and there's this fine line of parenting.
Yes.
So,
You know what's interesting? I remember a conversation, and I'll never forget it, with both of my kids, and they both said, you know what? Because you always feel like too, with every task that they tell you or every problem, you feel like you want to solve it and help fix, but you don't want to meddle too much, you don't want to hover too much. And I remember my daughter said, she goes, I just kind of want to tell you all this stuff, but I want you to listen and not tell me how to fix it, because I know how I'm going to fix it, but I just want you to listen.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not even us telling them, it's just being there to listen.
Yeah, the first guest that we have, and I'm forgetting the third thing she said. I might have to ask producer Carrie eventually. She said, you ask them, do you want to be heard? Do you want to be helped? And then do you want to, I'm forgetting. I'm going to need a cheat sheet.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
right?
And there's a time and place for that. There's a time when you say, I'm just going to be heard because you need to sit down and listen. There is times for tough parenting too, but then, sometimes they just want to talk. And just let you listen and just be an understanding, because we all went through those things too, but things are even worse for kids now because, as you mentioned, with phones and social media, I think there's just so much more pressure on kids now.
It is. And then when you have multiple, and you had two.
Yeah.
The story I always use, my oldest, this is like going back to technically preschool, but like daycare preschool. I go to pick up one of my kids in one room. This is when I had two. And the teacher goes, do you know what your daughter did today? I said, I don't know. Oh my gosh, the way you prefaced that really scared me. And she goes, some kid stole her toy And she put him in a headlock and threw him down. And I said, oh my gosh, I hope you put her in timeout. And they're like, no, it was okay. He's been like pushing some kids around. She stood up for herself. Then I go into the next room to pick up the next kid. And they said, oh, your daughter, she's been crying in the corner all day because somebody wouldn't let her play with them. You know, it's like whenever you have multiple, you can't parent the same way.
I know, true, right?
So you get advice on, okay, raising teens, but one of your kids is so much of a different personality than the other that it's all such a gray area. And you have to figure out what personality needs what type of advice.
That's so true. Yes, you're right. You're right.
The one my daughter Millie, who put the kid in the headlock, she is the most chill. She is not a bully, but she is. When she was 18 months, she wasn't going to put up with anything.
Yeah. Well, no, that's adorable because, you know, and like he was already being a problem, so she needed to
she
say,
took care of that problem.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did.
She figured it out.
I love it.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about the parenting playbook, the stuff that you're doing rather also with your father, and how all that came to be.
Well, so he retired a couple of years ago, and if you don't know him, you probably know his football record, but he is an incredible public speaker as well. And he was always a very calm parent as well. And then any football player or student who...
So wait. And do you have a sister?
So there's 4 of us, actually. And I have an older brother.
Okay.
And then it's me and 2 younger sisters. So he actually he's a girl dad.
So he could be calm with 4 kids?
He was always
and
super
3
calm.
girls?
3
Wow.
girls. I don't
that.
even, he never yelled. He would give advice, or I remember him almost like giving me a pep talk.
Cute. Like,
if I was causing an
He's
issue.
a perpetual
He'd
coach.
sit me down and he'd go, now let's think about this. Phenomenal parenting style, and then I think his players would agree. He never called his football players any sort of names other than men. He would always say, all right, men, this is what we're doing today. He was very respectful. So when I'm doing all of these kids sports, youth sports, and I'm realizing, look, my kids might not be the best athlete, but they're learning these life lessons here. He was always so good at teaching his athletes life lessons through football. And he always said that he felt like the football field was a classroom, and that's where they're going to learn. And it's really why he never moved on to the college level or any higher
we know he
level.
could have.
He could have. He had
really could have,
offers,
yeah.
but he liked the fact that this was a classroom separate from his English class. He was Shakespeare and Chaucer, and certain grade level English. So I said, I think parents right now need to hear this. Athletes need to hear what type of advice he has to give. Like, what are they really learning? What is the most important? It's not that your kid is the best athlete on the field. And I think right now, the way club teams are structured and a lot of youth sports is structured, it's very competitive. It's highly emotional for kids and their parents, and people get so wrapped up in that. So every week we have on a former athlete or a current athlete or somebody that he's known that is now a high-level NFL coach or something, and we talk about what kind of life lessons that they learned and what helped them the most. And he's had a couple of guests that they were a star athlete, but now they're running a business, and they talk about what kind of life lessons they learned in high school football or sports that they're applying now to how they run a business or how they are interacting with clients or whatever it may be. And it's great advice. Dave Ragone, he was my year at St. Ignatius. He was the quarterback. He was a successful quarterback. Now he is the quarterback coach for the LA Rams.
Oh my gosh, how
right.
neat.
We had him
That's cool.
as a guest. And I use this all the time when we said, well, how do you know, now you're coaching NFL players. That has to be really tough, you know. And he said, my one philosophy is you never come off the field to enemy sidelines. Like, you should not feel like you're coming into enemy territory on the sidelines. And that hit me as a parent. You know, that's what I want for my kids in these youth coaches. That's how they should feel if they come to us with problems. That's how, like, if you're running a business and you're a leader in your business, your employees should never feel like they're coming into enemy territory when they're coming into your office.
You're
so
right.
It's that
No,
type
so
of
many
advice.
lessons. Yeah.
Yes, it's that type of advice that we're talking about.
I hope the parents are listening too, because and unfortunately, a lot of times with kids sports, it's the parents misbehaving, you know, and that can kind of the trickle down is bad. We've done so many stories about the research that talks about team sports and the kids that participate in team sports having lesser anxiety, depression, mental illness. So how team sports is so important to build that community and build those kids and their self-confidence and then them feeling like they belong to something. And so it should be such a positive experience. And as you mentioned, then even going into business, into whatever they decide to do later on in life, that those lessons that they're learning from their coaches when they're little is so important. And I remember one of my son's coaches early on, as a parent, I was very frustrated, and I will never forget this. He told the kids to cheat till they got caught. And I just remember thinking, what?
Oh my gosh.
That is horrible.
Right.
Horrible, like horrible lessons to be instilling in kids. And they're all listening to them like, okay. Like that is a horrible thing to do, right? So I think it's so important that the people that get involved in this are doing it for the right reasons and really building those kids up.
Right. And with the show I'm doing with my dad and then with Parenting Playbook, one of the themes you'll probably keep hearing is the struggles. We talk about like, you always want to take the struggle away from your kid, like cheat, you know, so you can win.
Yeah.
No, that's not the point. They need to learn from the struggle. Every person we talk to says that's where the most growth happens. That's where their confidence builds. My oldest is playing volleyball. She was on a team that they won all the time. Then she started playing the club level, and it was a little bit more competitive, a little bit more intense. And the best thing for her, because she's very type A and very emotional, was that they lost frequently. I said, this is the best thing that happened to you. And what she learned was she got up the next day and everything was fine. They lost a game, but it didn't mean anything.
Right.
In the grand scheme of things. And it pushed her a little bit harder. So we always are working to make sure that our kids don't struggle. And then when you look back, it's the struggles that actually made you have the most growth.
It's so true,
So why are we taking that away from our kids? Why are we like, hey, you got to win, do anything to win?
So true, right?
Let them lose every once in a while so that they have that push.
Spoken like a true Browns fan. We're used to losing. Right?
See, and we're tough fans.
We are.
You know,
We're still
how
getting
that
through
feels.
each day, right? Well, we are going to take a short, quick break, but please stay close because we're going to play a little parenting trivia with Carrie when Fox 8 Extra returns. Back now with our sweet friend Maureen Kyle, who we have now added her to Fox 8, and we're so excited. The newest, greatest addition to Fox 8, and she does have a show coming up that's launching this weekend too on Fox 8, on our Fox 8 CLE Plus app. So we are all moms here. Carrie too, cutest little Carson. So we're gonna have a little fun with some parenting trivia. And Carrie,
I'm gonna be the game show host here.
Okay,
All
cool.
right.
But you guys are both playing.
Putting us to the test. Okay.
I can't play because I know the answers. All right. Question 1. What is the slang term for a parent who has very high academic expectations for their child? Is it a helicopter parent, a tiger parent, or an elephant mommy?
Wow, I've only heard the term helicopter parent. So,
Yeah.
but that's just when you, isn't that one more when you just hover
When you're
over
hovering
your
and
parents,
controlling
your kids'
everything.
business? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to go tiger parent. Like, I've never heard of elephant mommy.
Yeah. But I'm thinking,
Did you make that up? Oh, okay.
You
I
made
was
it
like,
up?
I was just going to tell you. Okay, so the answer is tiger parent. A helicopter
Oh,
parent is
tiger
one who's constantly hovering.
Right.
I said elephant mommy because my 2-year-old loves elephants. So
That's cute.
I
All
just
right.
needed a third choice.
You just had me panic. Like, have I not been doing enough research?
We're
Is
gonna
this
do-
the new 6'7"
We're
that
gonna
I'm not
do
aware
it.
of?
What is 6'7"? Why do they?
yes, what
It's
is
nothing.
that?
It's nothing. You know that it's nothing.
No,
Like,
what is it?
It was a TikTok, like some basketball player did an interview where he said he was 6'7", and then TikTok turned it into a quick little song, like a little jingle or something. And I said jingle like it's 1950. And then now all the kids go 6'7", but now it's 4'1".
Oh,
And
I haven't heard
so-
4'1" yet, but like yeah.
I don't
The
know.
older kids,
Every
did you
every
do your
kid I know
homework?
says it.
6, 7.
6, 7.
Oh,
And I'm
wait,
like, what does it
really?
mean? Oh gosh. Well, and I'm coaching some things, and so now when the score is 6, 7, they all like laugh and go 6, 7.
No
Yes,
way,
yes,
really?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
well, wait, so if I say 6, 7 to my kids who are in their 20s, are they going to think I'm cool, or are they going to be like,
I don't know.
please, please?
All I know is that when I hear kids saying it, then I say it back just to
Right.
just to be like, oh, you think this is cool? Wait
Yeah.
until this old lady says it. You know?
So then,
This
but
is how
now,
we squash it.
do I just go over 6, 7, just go right to 4, 1? Does that mean
Apparently,
the same
that's
thing?
the new
like,
one.
Cool?
Yeah, that's the new one. Well, I don't
4,
know what.
1.
I don't even know where that came from.
They're all
What's for dinner,
ridiculous.
Mom? 4, 1.
Yeah.
They'll be
All
saying,
right, question
Who
2.
are you?
Question 2.
Okay.
On average, how many diapers does a mom or dad, a parent, change before the baby turns 2?
2, okay.
Okay.
Just a guestimation.
Oh,
Wait,
wow.
we
okay,
have to just
we have to
guess?
come up with numbers.
Oh, yeah, there's no multiple
Oh,
choice
this-
here. I just want to hear a number.
Okay, so 65. 3. Let's see. I'm trying to think how many a day.
Just guesstimate.
I mean, I'm going to say 2,000,
Okay.
2,400.
Okay.
I'm going to say somewhere around 4,000. Just so we're
7,000.
Oh, wow. Oh, my
300
gosh.
is the answer.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Well,
Gosh.
Yeah.
that's a lot of work. That's
No wonder I was
part-time
always
job.
at Costco buying more diapers, right? Like, wow.
We're potty training right now, and I cannot wait. It's going to be like getting a raise.
that is
Yeah,
one of the
true.
hardest parenting moments, potty
Yeah.
training.
Oh, yeah.
I always think
Oh,
potty
yeah, yeah,
training
it's-
and helping them to learn how to ride a bike is so difficult because
Yeah.
you're bent over and it's like, what? You just move your legs. Why are you just moving your legs?
I know, and then you're so scared to let them
Yes.
go, you know?
The scraped knees, everything.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, question 3. What should a stay-at-home mom make? This is like actually done by salary.com. This is like
Yeah.
it's $89,000,
$185,000.
Yeah,
110 or 185.
I'm with Stephanie here, 185, but I think it should even be more
Me
than
too.
that.
It's actually 184, 820.
Okay.
Because stay-at-home moms work an average of 106 hours a week. That's 15 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Oh, yeah, I believe it. Yeah.
That's 6, 7.
There you go.
Or is that 24/7? That's 24/7.
So we have one more,
Okay.
I believe. At what age is your child's brain 90% developed?
Oh, that's a tough one.
I'm going to say like 24 years old.
I just to be different here because I know that that's when it's like they're fully getting developed around that age. I don't know.
And I don't know. I just know
16?
it takes time.
It's actually age 5.
Oh wow.
Wait,
Okay.
what?
90% developed. That's why
And
they
that's how
say
long it takes to
that
get-
bonding is so important when they're little.
Wow. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yes. And imprinting,
wild.
you know, that's when they say like you need to teach your kids empathy, and when they fall, or even as a mom or dad, you get hurt, you need to say, oh, I'm hurt, and can you cheer me up, and teaching them to do that you need to teach those kids their feelings, because sometimes they don't just know, and they see you, boy, they watch you.
Yeah.
You
Look at
know?
all these topics we have for
I know.
parenting playbook.
I know.
What we're going to have to cover.
A lot
There
of
is
good
one
stuff,
final
right?
one.
Okay. another
What
one.
is considered the biggest source of tension between parents and children of all ages?
Oh,
Young, old.
Source of tension.
cleaning their room,
Good guess.
chores.
I mean, is it now? So I wonder, is it like the phone stuff and like just?
This is all kids, though, even like toddlers.
Oh, okay. What to wear? Clothes
Well,
or eat?
don't
or
get me started on
maybe
that.
eat. Maybe eat.
What?
Eating.
It's actually screen time.
Oh, it is screen time. Okay.
Wow.
Screen time.
Even
Yes.
toddlers? Do you know? Have you seen kids on phone, like babies, where it's
Yes.
like I have to look and get like, look how they work that phone quicker than I do.
Yes.
It's
yes.
insane how quickly they just from watching you. Like,
They know how to scroll. I
They know what to
remember it was my middle showed me how to like get rid of the text message that was coming through when you're in the middle of like
yeah.
Wait,
Carson
wait.
plays this thing called ABC Mouse, which is
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
it's like little educational games, teach you how to write letters and stuff like that. And like, if I get an email while he's playing on the iPad, he'll just swipe it up.
Right.
And I'm like,
I didn't know. I never taught her how to do that. I'm sure
Yeah.
you never taught him how to do
No,
that. They just
it's-
have that
he just-
instinct of
Yep.
get rid of this.
Isn't that wild?
It is.
I mean, it's good, but it's also like kind of sad. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
don't
I
know.
mean, whatever. They'll be more literate. I'll be there like, okay, well, I taught you how to use a fork. Can you teach me how to use this new technology?
Yes. Well, and my kids will show me something. I'm like, just go slow with me real quick, because or the kids will be like, Mom, I already showed you how to do that. I'm like, yes, but I need to be taught like 3 or 4 times, just like you did when you were little,
Right.
or riding a bike or whatever. Like, just go over it a couple more times with me.
Yeah.
So producer Carrie is also producing your show too.
Yes.
You produce Wayne's World. You produce. Is there anything here you don't produce, Carrie?
Also,
Producing
5
the 5 o'clock
Yeah.
today.
Yes,
yes.
I
See,
am.
isn't that amazing? So what are some of the topics, Carrie, that you're looking forward to most? Because you're
Well,
a mom
it was funny
of
because
cute little
Maureen
Carson.
said, like, one of our first conversations, she's like, make sure I don't focus on only middle school age, because like,
Yeah, 'cause
her
that's my
kids are
biggest
middle
hurdle.
school
Yeah.
age, you know. So, you know, and I have a 2-year-old. I was telling her this morning was a disaster because he wanted to wear his pajamas to daycare and he couldn't because they were long and they were footy, and I'm like, you're going outside to play, it's 80 degrees, like you can't do that. But it was just like meltdown, like total meltdown, because we have these big feelings.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
So
I know. I'm going to use her. I'm going to pick her brain a lot. My sister has an 18-month-old, and so she calls me all the time, and she was like, he's hitting me. What do I do? You know, because, you know, when you have them on your hip and then you get slapped in the face. I go, I know this one because of all of the experts I've talked
what
to.
is the answer?
You put
You put them in a headlock. You put them in a headlock. That's what we do.
throw it to the ground.
No, I'm just kidding.
That was just, you saw the earlier one.
So you're supposed to take you out of the equation. You do say ow, and you put them down so that they can't reach up and hit you anymore. So you have to take away your face. But you see a lot of parents just say, no, we use nice touch, but they keep them on their hip. Which, that's not that it's wrong, but if
Yeah.
you put them down, then
makes
they
sense.
can't do it, and they learn, then they're not going to get your attention.
Oh, true.
So
I mean, almost like with a puppy. Like that's because I have 3 dogs. That's kind of like what I'm raising
Right.
now.
Well,
Like,
yeah, and potty
it-
training. Like,
Yes.
I mean, honestly,
Same. Well, I know that you will have so many great topics, and I think too, like you with your kids, you almost forget about that stuff then, you
Yeah,
know, like
yeah.
because you're on to the next, whatever they're into now and what's going on in school and sports and everything. So you have such a wonderful voice, and I know you have such a great following of people who love you so much, and they'll be
thanks.
so happy that you have found this home here.
Yeah, I'm happy to. I mean, this is incredible. I'm glad that I get to keep sharing this, because really it's every conversation that I'm having with my friends. And that's really why I started covering parenting topics, because in this position, I have the power to call an expert and be like, what are we doing here? You know, how are we
Right.
tackling this problem? So my friends will call me or text me and go, hey, what do I do
Yeah.
about this? Great topic, let's tackle it.
And
So
I'm
it's
sure
great.
our viewers, you guys can reach out to
Absolutely.
Maureen and Carrie and the station, and too, if there's anything that you see that you'd like them to address. But in the meantime, welcome.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
glad
It's
you're
so good
here.
to be here.
So happy.
Thank you so much.
Love you. It's going to be great. And again, all of her shows will be airing on Fox 8 CLE Plus app, and you can see it on demand whenever. So welcome to the family.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Good to see you. All right, we will see you next week.